The animal versus community will always lack when it's done in this format, where it's just pictures. Like you have to actually, the talking head is superior. And the reason is you guys refuse to watch game tape and expect me to respect your decisions based off of what, you reading a stat sheet? If we adjust for weight class, the leopard wins, even without a rehydration clause. If they meet in the same weight class, leopard is winning. Styles make fights. And you guys aren't even breaking down the fight IQ. You're not breaking down the body types and how they use it. So if you break down the fight, the cougar is leg dominant. We know this. The cougar holds the advantage when it comes to the claws. You already read this off the stat sheet. It holds a disadvantage with the canines and biting, of course. Everyone knows that the cougar is really stuffy when it opens its mouth, and it has shorter canines. We know this. So it's going to be heavily relying on its hands. It's a boxer versus wrestler situation. So the leopard will be landing the more critical attack. But how will it close the distance? Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the cougar would actually close the distance for the leopard. We all know when it comes to athleticism, the cougar is always the front runner. You know what I'm saying? Front runner being that it's basically like a sprinter or a high jumper or whatever. High jumper, long jumper, the cougar is the undefeated champion when it comes to jumping and predation, in my opinion. The legs are long and strong and very springy. It uses those legs to stand up and swipe. It is a boxer. It's the striker in the scenario. However, the leopard's athleticism is severely underestimated because of the style of athleticism it has, especially when it fights. And it's because you didn't watch game tape, you don't know that. And I'm not cherry picking it, but when leopards fight, it is unreal the athleticism that's displayed. They're both airborne. Just look up leopards fighting, you will find this result. And that's because they're grapplers, but they fight extremely athletically. You have to understand the shorter, compact, and more flexible locking wrists of leopards are a real weapon in more ways than one. Maybe not the same way for striking as cougars, but their limbs play a bigger role, and that carries over from basically climbing a lot. They're like the ninja warriors as opposed to being the long jumpers of the cat family, but they use their legs a lot in the grappling scenario. So we know they're grappler versus striker. Leopard's more comfortable off its back. It will use its hind legs to attack. But one more thing to consider is also the defense the leopard has that the cougar does not. They borrowed this from the caniforms, and that is loose skin around the necks. That's right. The cougar is going to have an even harder time finishing the fight. It's going to be relegated to basically boxing the entire fight and hoping that the leopard doesn't pull guard or even, fly up in the air like it does. And remember, when they do grapple, the leopard is going to have an easier time getting around that neck. If we adjust for weight class, the leopard is winning. It's just a scrappier, more well-rounded fighter. The cougar's a better athlete, maybe a little bit better predator, but even that, it's like, depends what you're valuing.